Hey geometries, this is Mr. Bloom, and today we're going to be reviewing our information on, well, that's going to be the size that we deal with, our information on 9.1 to 9.4. Okay, just going to make that a little bit bigger so, it's like a pointer instead of a non-pointer. There we go. Now, so this is what it is. Transformation review. We're going to talk about translation rules, that's slides. Reflection rules, those are turns, okay, or flips, I should say, not turns, but flips. Reflection over horizontal lines, still flips, and rotation rules with their turns. So these are slides, these are flips, these are flips, and these are turns. Okay, so keeping in mind, we went through these prior to our 2-week break here, and we're going to review them again just to make sure you get them. Okay. Okay, so we've got this going on here, and we're looking at this idea of translation rules. Now, a translation is a slide. Remember, that's a slide. Okay. Okay, so translation rules, a slide. A move to the right, horizontal, or up vertical on the coordinate plane is a positive move. A move to the left, horizontal, or down vertical on the coordinate plane is a negative move. That's what we learned about, and this is really what happens when I go left and right is X and up and down is Y. So I'm going to perform a transformation with 1, -2. So I could just do it using the rule 1, -2. And according to this rule, 1, -2 gets mapped up, and this is the pre-image. And I'm going to an image. Okay, so 1 plus 5 is 6. -2 minus 7 is -9. So let's see what that looks like on our graph. We're supposed to take the point 1, -2. That's my original point. And I'll make an adjustment here with our graph. And I'm supposed to go down 7. Okay, so actually to the right 5, 1, let's make a copy of that point. We are going to clone, and I'm going to go from that spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right and 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that new point should be at 6, -9. And that is exactly what we had said about our image point. So if we're going to perform that transformation, that's what we do. It's your turn. You do B. Okay, and your B value should have gone 1, -2. Starting about the same way, we're going to subtract 7, which means we're going to go to 6 down, and then we're going to add 4, which means we come up 2. So it should be at -6, 2. So if we go that 1, -2, okay, if I get rid of this point, and we do it again, I go 7 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 4. And that's where I get my -6, 2. That's our new point. So that's how we do this. Now you got to ask here, answer this following question. If 1, -2 is the image after a translation of xy mapping onto -3y plus 6, find the pre-image. Okay, so I want to find the pre-image. I got to work backwards, that means. So find your pre-image. And remember the pre-image, this is my image. My pre-image, remember that's got to have parentheses there. I've got to work backwards. Instead of adding steps, I subtract it to my y. So my first point must have been -2 minus 6, so -8. And then my x point would have been, instead of -3, add 3, so it would have started out as 4. Now, it should work. 4 minus 3 is 1, -8, plus 6 is -2. So this was my pre-image point. And that's what I was supposed to find. Now, in our next one, we're looking at reflection rules, x-axis, y-axis, y equal x, and y equal -x. All of them have rules, and we're always going to perform the following transformations, starting with 1, -2. So I'm looking at 1, -2, and again, I'm still out here at 1, -2 for my point, okay? And I'm going to perform my rotations. Now, my reflections over the x-axis. Now, over the x-axis, I have a rule. Okay, this is the rule I must use when I perform a reflection over the x-axis. So I'm going to look at my 1, negative 2, and this says keep x the same, change y. So x is going to be the same, and I change my y. So x is the same, and I change my y because I'm going over the x-axis, so I end up over here, the same distance away from the axis. So my new point is 1, 2, and that's checked. A reflection over the y-axis. A reflection over the y-axis is an x, y rule, and it's minus x, y. Okay, so when I use this, I'm still taking my original point, 1, negative 2. Okay, so I take my x value and take its opposite, and take the y value and keep it the same. So what does that look like? If I do that, I am going to flip it over here, so it's negative 1, negative 2. So that checks out. Okay. Now remember, reflections lie on lines perpendicular to the line of reflection, and they're the same distance away from the axis. Now, pay special attention to these. I have them right here. Y equals 0 is actually the x-axis. So it has the x-axis rule. Please keep this in mind. And the reflection over the line y equals 0, excuse me, the y equals 0 line is the x-axis. I read that. They're both y equals 0. Somebody made a typo. So unlock this. And this has got to be an X right there. So we got to get a keyboard up. And we got to make that change. Okay, so now we're going to lock that and get this show on the road. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. So we get this going. We got x equal x minus y, okay, and that is the x-axis equation. Okay, so now I've got my point again, 1, negative 2, and it's the same. Okay, seemed like it was a different type question, but I'm going to take my y value, okay, and I'm going to take its opposite. My x stays the same. Okay, if I reflect in the over the line x equals 0 is this line here. Okay, so that's a vertical line, which is the y-axis. Okay, the equation is x equals 0. So this is the rule I must use. So again, we're using the same point, 1, negative 2, and reflecting that each time. Okay, so x is the opposite and y is the same. So if x is the opposite, one's the same, it becomes this point. So it's exactly the same. You just need to notice those changes on what happens. Now, reflection over the y equal x line, our last two here, is a reflection of the y equal x line. I'm looking at switching my y and x. So it's xy becomes yx. Remember, this is my y equal x line coming across here, and my 1, negative 2 is right here. Okay, we can get rid of this other stuff, cut that, and get rid of those for right now. And I'm looking at reflecting across, so I got 1, negative 2 again, and I flip-flop, negative 2, 1. So I go negative 2, 1, 2, 1, and that's on that line. Now, if I look at the y equal negative x line, which, you know, it's a negative slope going at 0, 0, 1 down, 1 over 1 down. My equation or my rule becomes xy, negative y, negative x. Now again, 1, negative 2 is still our point that we're reflecting around. So I go 2 and negative 1. Take the opposite and they switch. So let's look at 2, negative 1. So 1, 2, negative 1, 1 right there. And that is my reflection across there. That's awesome. Those are working really wonderful, and we were able to use rules to make it happen. Okay, horizontal lines and vertical line reflection. Remember, I've got to know how to write these equations. So we're still doing that 1 minus 2 point, but I'm reflecting over the x equal 3 line. X equal 3 is a vertical line. X equal 3. This is an x equal 3, crosses the x-axis at 3. This is x, this is y. Okay, so how far is it away? It's 2 units away, so it's 2 units on the other side. That's my reflection at 5, negative 2. So it's now at 5, negative 2. My image is now at 5, negative 2. A reflection over the x equal negative 4 line is your turn. Give it a try. Okay, x equal negative 4 comes across here. Okay, and I'm going to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here is my reflection. So at negative 9, negative 2 is my new point. Okay, using the x equal negative 4 line, and I am reflecting this point, positive 1, negative 2 each time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other side. Now, a reflection in a y equal line, let's clean up our board here. Okay, y equals is horizontal, and I'm still talking about the same point. So y equal 2. If I'm talking y equal 2, it's right here. And remember, 1, 2, 3, 4 places away from the line, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 places above the line. So it's 1, 6. And again, I've got a reflection over the y equal negative 5 line. The negative 5 line, y equals is horizontal, negative 5, and I'm still talking about this point, 1, negative 2, and I'm going to reflect that across the y equal negative 5 line. Okay, so now it's 3 units away and 3 units away. It is now 1, negative 8. Okay, now please make sure you're comfortable with doing these things on these types of problems. And if you need to, redo this video and try to do the problems before I do them so you can make sure you understand them before you get to your assessment. Now, our last thing is rotations. We're looking at rotations, and we got 3 of them that we got to be concerned about, but notice the 3. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise, AKA 90 degrees. And this is also an AKA 270 degrees clockwise. So it's very, very important you keep in mind what clockwise and counterclockwise is, and you pay attention to which one's which. Now, I want a 180-degree rotation. That's this one. My rule, x, y is opposite of x, opposite of y. I take my point 1, negative 2. Still, it's 1, negative 2. I am not doing anything different, and I'm going to rotate that. So x is opposite and y is opposite, so it's positive 2, and that's my final. 90-degree clockwise. 90-degree clockwise. It's this one. Okay, so 90-degree clockwise, and that's why I'm grabbing this rule. Okay, now I'm still doing the point 1, negative 2. Okay, because I have rules, it's really easy for me to go back and just follow the rule. I just got to make sure I grab the right one. This one's actually clockwise. So the opposite of my negative 2 is 2, and the opposite of positive 1 is negative 1, and that's my final answer. Your turn, you pick the right rule. Okay. Welcome back. I'm looking at 90-degree counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is the top one. Opposite of y, x. So I've got x, y. I've got maps onto opposite of y, x, and I got 1, negative 2. We always are coming back to that same point, okay, to make sure that we know what's going on. And I'm looking at the opposite of y, which is 2, and x is 1, and that's my final one. Okay, so we are done with our review, and if you're not comfortable, make sure you contact one of your teachers. I would go through this again, okay? Go back to the beginning, okay? And start it again and have a piece of paper and kind of jot it down what's going on and practice doing the problems. If you notice there's a problem, let me know. But remember, the better, more fluid you are, will be the better and easier a quiz or assessment will be. Okay? I hope things are going well. We really miss you guys on campus. I'm Mr. Bloom, and you're not. Have a great day.